Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video.
Stay double file.
We're at it again here at Misano in the Audi EVO2. Did some adjustments on the setup. See if it works or not. I got the same guy that won the last race. If you've seen that one, and the AMG in front of me.
Green light. Go, go, go. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Dang. It's a bad place to get hit. They don't have a lot of damage. I haven't even looked. Yeah, about a second. I can hope as they battle so I can get up to them, because I know they're all fast. So, and they got a second and a half, 2 seconds on me. So, probably a penalty. No, it's not.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Dang it. least I'm pulling away from fifth, so that's the good thing. I don't have anybody pressuring me from behind, so I can just concentrate on what's in front of me. See how it is at later in the race. Tires are a teeny bit high, so that's not good. Not that close. A terrible lap.
Gaining on the car, heading sector 1.
Yeah, see, they're just a teeny bit high. I lowered them a teeny bit, but not enough. Now it's off there. Doing as smooth as I need to. My tires are a little off. Dang. Whoa, he's really stopped there. pace, I think. He's making mistakes. See if I can pick it up a little bit. Near my Delta. See if I can get back close to him again. That's a warning. No, no time gained, so it's good. That wasn't good. There's a battle for first and second. First, I should say. Not driving well. Not the car. I'm just making a few mistakes. Doesn't take much. We're pretty equal pace. better lap. Looks like it's cooling down a teeny bit as the tires have come down a teeny, so that's actually really good. Oh, AMG got ahead, I think. Yep. Yeah, he's tough here.
Goes into the car ahead in sector 1.
But that's a good, like I said, that's a good, very good car in a lot of places, but definitely here at Misano. I need to try to be smoothing it up a little bit. Just run as consistent as I can. Fifth place is like 5 seconds behind me, so it's fine. Time there. That was terrible. Too much brake. Lap here. Just trying some different things.
Goes into the car ahead in sector 1.
Digging. Good. Only a few minutes left. Laps. right, just got one. Trying. Closed a little bit back in on him, but can't get it right up to him, so.
Yellow flag, be careful. Slow car ahead. The leader has finished the race. Checkered flag, good job, you did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
I finished 4th. Just have to take it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. I mean, you know, I ran some good laps, or I think I ran a little bit better than I did in the first race. But still might take a look at it just to see if there's a couple little adjustments that I can make. Keep it more consistent at the end. It was just a little, dropped off a little bit more than I wanted to. But it, you know, it had, you know, good pace because it was, I think I ran a 34.18 or something like that. Yeah, 34.19. So that, you know, that was a good time, but then it just, I couldn't keep you know, doing that or keep it within a tenth or two. It just slowed up to the 40s and 50s, and that's about all I could do. But I think the last race, the fastest lap I had was a 50-something. I think it was a 54 in the race. So to be honest, you know, I was running more like, you know, even near the end it was a 34.49, and that was, I think, my fastest lap that I had in the other race. It was a 34.50 or 34.54 or something like that. So again, you know, success does in the other. Not terrible. Actually here, there's a 10th there, and that's about the same. So I could have been at like a 34.0 if I would have had these fast sectors all together. So, you know, again, I ran a before we move on, I did run a 3395 or something like that in qualifying with lower fuel. Same setup, just lower fuel. So actually, the first time I've got into the 33s with the Audi EVO2. So again, there's definitely more there. But again, I'll look over the data before I post the setup and just maybe do just a look over and see if there's any little place that I can improve upon it. Again, I'm just kind of crawling upon it, just a little more, a little doing this, a little that, and seeing if it goes bad or or better or whatever. So, but we'll go to LFM, and of course we'll go over the results, and then of course we'll head back and do the setup. All right, we're back here at LFM, here to see the results, and you see, of course, I finished fourth. Still happy with that result. I moved up one place, but the performance of the car I think was better because if you remember watching the other video, I think my fast lap was a 134.51, and this time was a 134.19. So right there, I picked up a few tenths, and the conditions were pretty similar as far as track conditions and things like that. So it just need to. The only thing I could say, I think it's better. It just needs a little bit more to where it doesn't fall off as much near at the end. So just gonna work on that a little bit. Again, go over the data and all that. So, but we'll go over the setup once I get it. Once I think it's good, or as good as I can make it for right now. But again, we had 8 incident points. Safety rating went up 0.14, and the ELO went up 60. So our total now is a safety rating of 706, and our ELO is 1744. So definitely, at least we've moved up in the right direction after a few real bad races. So that's what I like to do. At least keep. And of course, both races, the other one and this one, both were split too. So again, that's usually if I can usually stay right around there. Sometimes I'm in split 1, sometimes I'm in split 2, but of course I dropped before into the middle of the pack, like split 3 or 4, depending upon how many splits there was when my rating was dropping. So that's why I need to keep moving it up, getting it back up, so I can stay at least solid in split 2 at least. But I'm really happy with that. But again, you can see Dario again won this race, and he had even a faster lap of 133.78. So it's again, that's really where I need to be, is right there in the high 33s, low 34s. But again, a little bit more consistent that way instead of dropping 3 or 4 tenths over that. Trying to keep it within a couple tenths of that. So again, just a little bit, a little bit more. Some of that's I'm sure is me, just driver, and some of that's in the car. So just a little bit of both. So again, we'll go over the setup and see what we can come up with. All right, we're back here at Misano, and definitely did more laps than I was planning on it. But it's just, when you're fine tuning it, it's just so tedious, and you just, these little adjustments that you're really trying to get that feel in the car, and a lot of times you just little adjustments here and there, and then maybe you go a little wrong way, and then you go back, and it's so tedious. But again, I think it's really good. You see I ran a 34.02. So again, that's faster than what I ran in the race by a little bit. And I actually had a 33.8 in my Delta, but I messed up the last 2 turns and just totally blew it. But right there I had but I know it's in there. But of course that's with more of a fuel, like I started the race in LFM. So that's more with like a 50-liter fuel load. So that's not like qualifying like I did before when I ran a 33.94, but I was low on fuel. So, and it was cooler. So again, I think it'll definitely pick up if I was in the same conditions. So that's what I'm looking for. It should be, in the same conditions in the LFM race. It should be running, at least around this, high 33s, low 34s, and that's what I was looking for. A lot of it's up to the driver, and again, it's just, it's so fine-tuned as far as where you're putting the car, every little inch of the track as far as right where you're putting it, especially with these sausages and things like that. It's so critical. So again, let's go over the setup, The one thing I just wanted to say before we do that is the main thing is when you're coming off the last turn, and you know those sausages there on the right hand side, just stay away from them. I don't, if it totally messes you up or you get past, that's okay, because if you hit those things, it will wreck you. So I don't know, they don't look any different than the sausages in the beginning, and we'll go over that. Like, I'll just show the very beginning. I just wanted to show it to you. Those are critical back there, but this coming up here, those sausages right there to the right. I mean, those sausages right here look the same. I mean, I really don't see a difference, but for some reason, when you go and hit those, you're gonna wreck. So at all costs, do not hit those. You can run right up next to them, but if you run over them, you're gonna about wreck the car into the wall and all that. And I ran right along the edge, which is okay, but so you just need to pay attention to that. Now here, you can see I'm running right over these things. I mean, these are all over them, and it takes them like nothing. It takes them like you're in the BMW or something. I mean, it's so nice. So again, I don't know what the difference is between those two, but definitely ones you can and ones you can't. So anyway, I just wanted to show that. And that's what I mean, just by knowing every little bit of the track to where you got to maximize this, and all the laps were legal. I mean, a 3402 obviously was a legal lap, so it's not like I'm going out of bounds or anything. But I'm using all of the road that I can. So let's go over to setup. We got 25.3 left front, 25 left rear, 26.2 right front, 25.8 right rear. The toe's negative 0.25 with the camber at negative 3.8 on the left front, negative 3.6 on the right front, and the caster at 15.4. The toe on the rear is a positive 0.05 with the camber at negative 2.9 on the left rear, negative 2.7 on the right rear. All these tire wear was very, very good. No graining, no nothing. The problem that I could see, the only problem that I saw from the data was the rear tires were wearing a little faster than I want, and that could maybe cause some of the issues. I would think, though, that would make the car run a little looser, but maybe not. I don't know, but maybe it was just changing the balance of the car. But by the end, you get the wear on the rear was okay. It wasn't graining or anything, but there was more wear to it by a good amount than the fronts. So again, trying to minimize that so the car can hold on to its pace a little better. So I'm really trying to work on keeping that a little bit better. Electronics 3, 1, and 4. Again, you can dial these up as you need. If you need another click here or 1 or 2 clicks there, especially if the track is fast or green. Again, the TC is very good in the EVO2 with the TC1 and TC2. It doesn't hinder you. Fuel, of course, I started with 51 liters, and I was running like 55 and 51 both, and it doesn't really make that much difference. Of course, in the race, I started with 48, so that's all I needed, and I still had more than enough fuel. Mechanical, this is one thing I changed. The Anti roll bars max in the front at 4. Brake bias is 55, and the steering's 13. And you can go down to 54 easily, and even into the 53s as far as the brake bias. So if you have a longer stint, let's say you're running, 40 minutes or something like 30 minutes or whatever, you definitely want to go down some as this goes. It's not a problem at all as far as the brake bias. Springs are 174,000 on the front with a 600 bump stop rate and a 5 bump stop range. And on the rear, the springs are 163,000 with a 800 bump stop rate and a 20 bump stop range. Any roll bar is 2, and the preload on the diff is 180. Now, the things I changed was the anti-roll bar front and rear. I added a click on each one, and I changed the bump stop ranges. They were tighter. Here, they were tighter, so I loosened them up just a little bit, so it would try to go over the bumps a little bit better. It seemed it wouldn't be such a abrupt bang, so to speak. So I try to do that, but I really wouldn't go any wider than that. Very, very minor if I would, because then it starts affecting the handling. So again, keep that around there. Other than that, now if you want, if the track doesn't have a lot of grip, you might want to take one click out of the roll bar. That's what I had in the race. You could go one here and one there. So if you don't have the grip, let's say the track is fast, or maybe it's optimum, but it's slick, it's really hot, or something like that, I would probably take one out of each of these. Okay, and that would give the car a little bit more flex, so it'll allow the tires to grip, and be a little bit more balanced, and let the car move around a little bit more, since the tires can't grip as good because the track's slick. So that's what I would do. So again, keep that in mind. But when you got pretty good track conditions, I would probably stick with this. It keeps the car very balanced. And what was going on in the race and here is it felt like the car was winding up. Like when you're going through some of these corners, you could almost I could feel it, like the car was like a spring. It was winding up, and you're afraid it's going to snap on you and come around the other way or something like that. And some of these, you're going left, right, and all that. And when you go into that area where you do the hard braking and then left and left, and then, right and right and then left, it felt like it was wanting to wind up a lot. So again, I do that to try to keep it from doing that. You might get a little bit of it, but I still think most of it's gone. But again, just reminder, you might want to take a click out of each one if it is not optimum conditions. Shocks on the front. Left front is 6, 2, 10, 12. Right front is 5, 1, 8, 10. The rear is 1, 1, 11, 2. So again, all dialed in with Motec, and I did make some adjustments with this from the race. So again, the graph is actually really good from the Motec. It looks really good to me. Really good improvement. Really nice graph going up and down. So I'm really happy with that. Aero, I have 54 in the front, 61 in the rear with a maxed out wing, 5 wing, and a 4 and a 3 and a brake ducts. Now, and the front aero variation is a negative 2.8. So again, this was the same, but I did go a click up here in the ride height where it was only 60, I think, in the race. So I did go up one here to get it to turn in a little bit better. And, of course, I had to move the brake duct up to 4. In the race, I had it at 3 and 3, okay, because it was so cold. It was only like 17 or 18 degrees Celsius. So I could go down to 3. So, but now this I have to go to 4. So, again, that makes a teeny bit of difference in the downforce, but very, very teeny. Again, I'm really looking forward to the Valencia track coming out and the new DLC, which was announced. So, again, I'm really super stoked about that. Again, I would love to have more tracks, but, I know how difficult it is, and it costs money to get the tracks, and it's not as easy as it sounds. And plus scanning them and all that. And one thing with ACC and Kunos, I'm with everybody else. There's so many tracks I'd love to have for them to come out that it's crazy. But I'd rather have quality over quantity. And one thing with quality, they're in spades. So I know I'm a little disappointed like everybody else. I'd love to see more tracks, but I'm also a realist and know it takes a lot of work to get to that point. So again, I'm just still looking forward to it. It's still going to be awesome. And again, 3 new cars, and it's just they said it's the biggest update ever. That's big because the 1.8, I think it's the 1.8 was huge. I mean, it was almost like a new game. So, new racing sim. So, I mean, if they say it's the largest ever, it's going to be big. So, very interesting to see what it's going to do and what it's going to do to setups like this. I'd like to come back to this and see the difference between this and what it is after the update. So that's why I'm trying to do some on these cars, especially other cars that I like and that I'm kind of behind on as far as setup. So that's why I'm doing that with this and the AMG and some other ones that you'll see come out before the update. So again, I appreciate it. I hope you give me a like and subscribe. I mean, it really does help the channel. I see that we just broke 6,000 subscribers. So I hope it stays there just barely. So thank you to everybody that's done that. That's awesome. And again, the link to this setup will be in the description, and it's free. Again, just like all my setups are free. Again, I try to look for drivability, balance, fun to drive. There's a lot of things that may not, I know there's some, good setups out there, but I think mine are good too, and are free. So again, one other thing, if you need to go down on the rear wing one, don't be afraid. For qualifying, it might work good. I tried it, and it actually feels pretty nice. So again, but the way I drive really hard into the corners, it got a little, you might have to tone it down a teeny bit, but it might fit your driving style. So if you want to try it, don't be afraid. All you got to do is go down one click, because everything else is still good balance-wise. That's how balanced this car is. So again, just a suggestion. I try to give a lot of suggestions for y'all to do, to change it, little tweaks here and there to fit your driving style. So I'm sorry the video was running a little longer, but I just try to put those things in there so you can get the most out of the setup and most fun out of whatever driving or racing you're doing. So again, I appreciate it, and I sure hope you visit again really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.